Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me again today. And this is our project today. Woohoo! It's not Christmas! Yay! Honestly, I love Christmas and I love Christmas crafting, but I have been making Christmas projects since August and I really am Christmased out. There may be a couple more in the pipeline because I have a couple more ideas that I'm desperate to do before the products retire, because some of the things I've got won't be around next year. The ones that are around next year I'm happy to leave and I will play with those next year, but the others I kind of need to use. But for today we're not doing Christmas, we're doing little note cards. So you could change the message, you could put happy birthday or thank you or get well or whatever. We're using this little bird and I forgot to look up before I came online on here the set that this is from. I will look it up and I'll put it in the notes below when I do the notes for it. I don't own this stamp set. This was a project that we did in some team training back in September. It was a different design card to this, but in essence we had this stamp set and the technique with the glitter and to colour the glitter, and that's what I wanted to show you today. So I'm going to show you, but the design was different when we did it. It was Sam Hammond Donald that did this technique with us, but I think she got it from Dawn Griffiths. I think originally the idea was from her for this technique. Anyway, so I changed it up. I printed lots of birds while I was there and die cut them, so I had lots to play with. So I've done a kind of rainbow. You can see I've done different colours, and I'm going to show you how to make the card first of all. So first of all we're going to start with the bird and how I made the bird. So I have got a couple more birds here. So they're already die cut. They were stamped onto the acetate with stays on ink and using the stamparatus, because actually if you try and stamp on acetate, what happens is you take your stamp and it goes because it's so slippy, there's no friction there. So if you use the stamparatus it's much easier. I can't show you with this design because like I said, I don't have this stamp set, this was from training. So it's stamped on that side, but I'm going to turn it over and colour on the back. And I'm going to use two pens, the light pumpkin pie and the dark pumpkin pie blend. So I'm going to start with the light one and I'm going to colour in the whole of the wings with this light pen. You can see you can hear it squeaking. It's quite light, this colour, not quite as dominant as some of the other colours, but actually the more you go over it the more colour you can add. As it dries you can then add a bit more colour, but I'm going to come in with the dark one anyway. This is the dark one. I've got to decide which bit of the wings I do dark. I'll do this bit. So there you go, there's a bit more colour. And it's quite easy to colour because you've got quite thick lines, so don't need to go over. So you can keep layering on the colour and get quite dark colour there. So there we go. So you've coloured your acetate. Then you need to die cut exactly the same shape from our silver glimmer card, silver glimmer paper. And what we're going to do is we're going to mount the bird on there. And you might say to me, well, that's all very well, but how do you stick it? It's really difficult to stick acetate. It's really difficult to stick glimmer paper. And actually, because you can see through the acetate, what you're going to stick it with, what you won't see. Well, this is where a little bit of magic comes in. If I could find where I'd put my glue dots just now. So I just got them out. Did I put them away again? No. Oh, there they are. Honestly, I can't see for looking on my table. Right, so what you do is you put a few glue dots on the bird. So I'm going to put one on his tail down here. And I know you're screaming, oh, but you'll see those. But actually, because it's going on glimmer paper, you don't actually see them through the acetate, through the window sheet. So it really is a lovely technique because you can get these lovely coloured effects and you don't see the glue behind. So one there, and then I'm just going to put one on his head, I think. Possibly one on the wing as well. Let's make sure he's well and truly stuck. So there, I've got the glue dots on. And then all I'm going to do is carefully mount that onto the glimmer paper, making sure it all lines up perfectly with the edges. There, like so. So that's my coloured bird with his coloured wings. Like I say, the pumpkin pie is not as dramatic as some of the other colours I used. You can see some of the pens have much more striking colours. But that's fine. So then we're going to put the card together. So I've got my typical blank, which is half a sheet of A4 folded in half. All the measurements will be on my blog. Then I've got a strip of designer paper from our 6x6 designer paper stacks, and this measures 4.5 by 15. So I'm just going to glue that. You could have that side up if you wanted. It's double-sided. I quite like the spotty side. So just stick that on there. So line it up with the side. Try and get those sides lined up. There we go. It's slightly longer than my card, but that's okay because I can just come in after I've stuck it on and use the blade of my scissors to line up, get a nice crisp edge on there. And then I've got a scallop circle of pumpkin pie and a white circle of done with our stitched framelets. This one is, I just wrote this down, this one is 7 centimeters or 2 3/4 wide, so that's the shape you need. That's the size you need from the layering circle set. But it was probably easier to just tell you the measurement. So if you find the one in your set that is 7 centimeters or 2 3/4, that goes there, and then the white one goes on top. So this one is the one that's 6 centimeters or 2 3/8 inches, and that goes on there. And then the bird is going to have some dimensionals on the back. Actually, I'm getting a bit short of dimensionals. Here we go. Going to my last few here. I'm going to have to order some more. I'm going to bring my tweezers in. It's easier to do with tweezers. Stick one there. And there. Just a few dimensionals. So it's got a bit of dimension on the card. Maybe one in the middle just for luck. There we go. That's the reason I haven't got many dimensionals, because I use them all the time. I very rarely make a card these days that doesn't use dimensionals. There we go. And he goes there. There we go. I think this card is a really good way of demonstrating how well our products coordinate together. So you've got patterned paper, you've got plain paper, you've got our pens, and I'm now going to come in with the message with our ink, and you'll see how that coordinates really well as well. So this is a message from Flourishing Phrases, and it just says "just a note," which I thought was quite a nice message. Just want to make sure I've got this lined up. Can't see, can't get on top of it on the video. There we go. There we go. Now, can you see how well all those products coordinate? So it's a really nice way of showing you how easy it is to coordinate with our products. I think I've said it before, it's one of the nicest things about Stampin' Up is how well everything coordinates. So we've now got pink, orange, yellow, green, blue. Really lovely rainbow. I've got one more to make, which I might make quickly in a minute after I've come off camera, to add to the mix, and then I will have 6 of these lovely cards. They might be my customer thank you cards 1 month. So if you buy off me, you might be receiving one of these cards, and what I always do is I always put a post-it note inside rather than writing in the card, so that when my customers receive them, if they wanted to re-gift them, reuse them, they can, because the card itself would be blank. Anyway, that's it from me today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm desperately trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. I'm on I think I'm nearly up to 2,700. It would be lovely to get get to 3,000. Really would like to do it by, well, I'm not going to put a time on it, but I would like to get there. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, and you can click the bell as well, and you'll get a notification every time I post. That's it from me today. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.